Hello. Boy, it's been a weird day, weird night last night. Hope everyone's safe. Kinda got hit with a little bit of a hurricane and had some pretty fucked up floods. I'm okay. I appreciate people, checking in on me. But I'm okay. No damage. Maybe some potential mold issues, but that's a whole different story. But that's, you know, that's fine. It should be alright. Working through it. Yeah, it's crazy, and there's some flooding and stuff that I had never seen before in New York. Nor has anyone seen quite like this. But once again, I mean, I'm safe, though I know a lot of people who got flooded pretty badly. And I hope everyone on the East Coast is doing alright. I mean, it just seems like so many people are getting fucking hammered across the country lately with one thing or another, and it's just awful. So stay strong, lads. At long last, I can free us from our primordial bonds. Now to find a portal to answer. Did that previous body just, like, die? You have to stop her. I saw inside her mind. If she destroys Answer, it all ends. I'll never see Samara. She's not breathing. It seemed like she was back to being Indra again. Now she's dead, so what does that make me? And that big red thing, is that the lost Swoon? An empty body just waiting for an arm to take over. And that Answer place is supposed to have more of them. Do you think Shalama really wants to destroy... It's funny because I want to take the story seriously and then I have to read the word Shalama, which there's nothing wrong with that word. It just, the syllables trigger a weird part of my brain that it's hard to... It's like, it sounds like a word I may have, like, made up while in a fever dream. Speaking of, I have a weird dream I want to mention in a minute. I'm not sure what happens, or I'm not sure that's what she means to happen, though I don't exactly want to find out if she's right, either. Disperse into a cloud of nanites. Tilar, with me you become as a cloud, able to pass through cracks and grates. I've been seeing grating all over since I arrived. It's like a damn motif. Indeed, these barriers are one of the ways the wielders were finally able to entrap and vanquish the Udug. It's like Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I'll tell you what, though, I really want to defeat that Death Star. It's also just weird that the body is like, dead. Okay, I guess I can't go back that way. Wielder, we are in grave danger. I saw, she said is looking for the portal to Ansur. Very good. Yes, she means to obtain the rest of the Siuna cache. Then She will destroy our mother world with a legion of arms. I think you need to explain a bit what that means. In the same way that destroying the universe would mean destroying all the planets within the universe, destroying the answer will destroy all the universes within it. And what sort of insanity makes her think this is a good idea? She believes in that this universe. She believes in that this universe can somehow survive independently of the mother. Indra, it is paramount that you stop her. At the portal to the Siuna cache is an undetonated storm breach bomb left over from the war. All that is needed is for you to activate it. Where is it? Sector 4318 beneath your people's research base. It's nearly discovered by then. It was nearly discovered by them is why I sent drones to chase them from the area. This sounds dangerous. What is the blast radius of the bomb? The walls are of a material not native to this world and should contain the blast. Okay, I'll check it out. If it's as you say, I'll set it to blow. And then you'd better find a way to get me back to my own body. We have an agreement. Yeah, about that. That body might have been died. So I'm gonna say that there's a chance that you're not getting in there anytime soon, buckaroo. Oh, hang on a minute. Where's my phone? I want to read this dream. I had another strange dream. I wrote something down, and it is fucking weird. I've also been getting a lot of weird music from my dreams, too. Some of which is kind of cool, some of it is, like, complete garbage, or not at all like a red box thing, so I'm not gonna use it. But, listen to this. This is from, like, 2 nights ago. Okay. Hole-in-One in Mario Golf was whisked away to a secret room with Kojima, Mike Stoklaza, and some other random dude, like a gamer nerd. They congratulated me, there were interviews, and it concluded with getting on the Toad Genie to get back to the game. Now keep in mind, I scored a hole-in-one in Mario Golf, and then somehow, in real life, I got transported to a room with Kojima, Stoklaza, and some other person. And then, Mike said he always thought that the Toad Genie gave the player cunnilingus in Mario Party. That's the end of what I wrote, and then I went back to sleep. Yep. Yep. How's them apples? Fucking weird. But remember, in the dream it was normal, and the thing is, he was trying to say that he thought that the new edition, he thought that the new Toad Genie was better than the one from Mario Party. Now, there is such a thing as a Toad Genie. It's a real thing from Mario Party. But the one from the dream was much better designed, because it didn't look like it was giving anyone cunnilingus. God. I guess that doesn't do damage to that. I really want to kill this Death Star. portal just chasing after me. There's like almost no way to avoid them beams. Just gotta jump into it. You kind of just have to jump into it. Wait, why'd that happen? I'm not complaining. Fuck, now I'm gonna complain. Oh man! It retained the damage from last time. Oh, I think I glitched it because the portal's in the doorway. I might have just discovered a cheese. Let's see if the damage level remains. Yes! Yes! Cheese discovered for a cheesy boss. Fuck you, boss. Alright, so, here's how you do the cheese, everybody. You drag a portal over to the door, and then the boss will retain its damage percentage. Enjoy. I can't believe that I just did. That's great. I'll explore a little bit around here. I've been, in a Metroid mood. Which I might have mentioned, you know, this isn't anything new. I'm usually in a Metroid mood, but... Isn't there a way to just, like... Oh yeah, that's it. I was looking into a couple of different Metroid, ROM hacks. And some seem cool, and some seem like... One was 20 hours... And I just thought to myself, no, not as much as I love Metroid. 20 hours of Metroid. That's one of the reasons Hollow Knight, as much as I do love that game, and continue to love it, and I think Silksong is going to be great, that's the only thing about it. I mean, that and some of the difficulty, but I eventually worked through it. And that's something that's kind of subjective, you know, person to person. I just felt like the game was too damn long. Many would disagree, and that's fine. But I do feel like the game could have lost... Oh, alright, so this is exactly where I've been already. The game could have lost a little bit of time, and it wouldn't, and, you know, or had it been more optional, and it would have been fine. But again, totally my own opinion and choice, and I know people disagree with that because that game is beloved, but I also, depending on the game, can sometimes run out of steam. Even if the game is fucking unbelievable, I find myself drifting. And I'm like, alright, it's time for a new game. Like, when I was live the other night, I saw some people... like, why were you in such a rush to end RimWorld? And even though it seemed like a rush, that's been going on for like half a year. Obviously not every day. But I had enough by then, I think. I was really, burnt out. And again, RimWorld is maybe one of my favorite games on Steam. But the burnout was a little... It was there. But, back to the flood thing for a minute. It was pretty rough. I mean, there was a lot of flooding. Like, there was a fucking tornado in New Jersey. Like, what's going on? Really, like, things aren't hard enough? We need fucking tornadoes now? There we go. And just a lot of flooding, people abandoning the cars. Like Joe was telling me, he had to stay at the studio until like 2 in the morning. And then weaving in and around abandoned cars to get home. So a lot of basements destroyed, a lot of severe flooding. Again, I was lucky. But not everybody has good, let's just say, pump. Not pumpy, but just pump. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. Otherwise, just lots of videos. Like you could see people in New York City, like in Manhattan, actually. Hammond, are you there? Yes, thanks to you, I've circumvented the character limits of this terminal. Something's come up. I'm a Shalama. She got the lost Sienna, but she wants to find the rest, which are somewhere below us. From what I know of them, they're very dangerous. At least the locals thought so. The Lamasu says she wants to use them to destroy the answer, the mother world, because she thinks it'll somehow free us. Is this a plausible thing? God, no. Indra, that would literally mean the end of our universe. Even if, as Amashalama seems to think, this universe could survive, even then, the places Samara and I are in would be forever disconnected. You would never see her again. I was starting to suspect as much. I think you understand then. Please don't let Amashalama do this. I'm about to set off a breach bomb. Apparently it's the only thing that can destroy the portal leading to the answer. So if you don't hear from me again... If I don't hear from you again, it's because you've ceased to exist. So don't let that happen. I mean, technically, she's already kind of ceased to exist. Just in her current form. Now, before I go ahead, I want to backtrack a little bit. So I'm going to get to a save point and then find a way to backtrack. If possible. Indra, an upstream portal lies ahead. It leads to answer. I had the Siuna cache placed there to keep it secure, but this has since become exactly the place Amashalama needs to do the most damage. And we were so afraid computers were going to be smarter than us. You should be able to hack the bomb with your nanites. Set a timer for 1 minute, that should be enough to get clear. After that I will seal the doors. Nobody can ever get to this cache again, right? Only a pattern mind could do that. And there are none left in this world. No, if there's gonna be a save point. Yeah, we got one. Fuck it, I'll just do it. As long as this isn't the end of the game. Not like there's gonna be an end boss or anything wacky like that, right? Why can't I hack this thing? Oh. I had to inject it with the juice. Not so fast, Indra. I am now Squid. This kind of looks like a final boss to me. We wouldn't want you destroying the portal now, would we? This portal leads to Answer, the mother world. Once I've obtained the remaining Siuna, we will destroy it. In the process, destroy this world, too. Matter of semantics. I will return it to its original form. It will become part of the pure realm of ideas once again. What? Those living in the current world will no longer exist to experience the destruction of it. It's a bunch of nonsense, and I'm not about to let that happen. I wasn't expecting a boss, considering this game... Like, the ethos of this game is all optional boss fights. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. Alright, never mind the hacking. Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, okay. I mean, this is the complete opposite of Hollow Knight in regards to its bosses. Hollow Knight doesn't fucking take prisoners. Not sure why the hacking is not working. That only slows her down. I guess I just had to beat the shit out of it. Okay. That's not really the case. Oh, it has to... Wait, huh? I'm confused. What made that... What? I don't really understand how to get rid of that shield. But I was able to get rid of one of the shields. It's not like this. Okay. Well, the hacking, like I said, the hacking doesn't work. So can't do that. Attacking it doesn't work. Then how the fuck did this one work? Okay. I wasn't sure if that was what was working before. Enough, you don't think I know what you're trying to do. I was here when this bomb was made. Indra hacked the bomb. You? How? And get the hell out of here. I'll keep her busy. Huh? It's me. If I'm not me, who the hell am I? Come on, don't bullshit me. Cohagen, these people need the ear. It was on TV, I had to watch some of it. Oh god. Time did not stop. Andrew, you did it. Run, hurry. Okay. I think I'm dead. Yeah, I don't think that was enough. Yeah! Okay. I'm assuming that it saved that I got that. Which, it should have just stopped time. If it's just gonna save that you got the thing, it should just stop time while you're reading it. Sorry, you still died. True to what Vinesauce said, the breach bomb completely obliterated the portal to Ansur. We had survived, Damu and myself, or at least some version of myself. The other me, she died to protect everyone. I realized then that I didn't care about getting home anymore, so I promised Damu that no matter what happened, I'd find a way to fix him. To make him flesh and blood again. And I knew where I could find the technology for that, but ironically, I'd just blown up the only known way to get there. So I was going to need help. Well, hey, it's not over yet, Snake. I thought maybe that would have been the end of the game. Is it? And so you've come to me, hoping I can help you reach this Ansur. By your own admission, that was Ameshalama's goal. You sure you are completely free of influence? Of course. That was where they stored their most advanced tech. I think you too would find it lucrative. But in order to get there, we need to find a pattern mind. And Hammond? Do you think she is there too? I don't pretend to have any idea where Hammond is. I tried contacting her using the Ansibles, but they're all dead now. I feel like she and Samara are still around somewhere. Very well, I look forward to working with you, Indra. I don't think I can really call myself Indra anymore. The real Indra died saving us. I'm something else. What's Indra backwards? A-R-D. Ardna. Well, I guess that counts as the end of the game. I should have just warped. Oh, look at that. I'm going to say that there's probably a secret ending. Or a better ending. And I'm gonna look it up real quick. That felt very fast and underwhelming. I mean, the game itself is fine. I have thoughts, but just let me check real quick. That's the whole ending. Well. That is interesting. You get another cutscene if you go beyond 80% collected. So that's a thing. Inútil. Every instant of time, every possible moment where one might observe a thing occurring, there should be a limitless possibility for what can then come. We can conceive of this, we expect this. Why did our ancestors believe in An, Enki, Enlil, and Inanna? Because such things would be possible, and yet they are not, because somehow outside of our world, Kinder is another world, a bigger world. Answer, and from the moment we observed its existence, we became chained to it. The things we have learned cannot be unlearned. The only path forward is as a slave to the mother, or is it? One must understand that of the infinite possible ideal worlds, there are infinite answers, each with a Kinder tied to it. Then there are infinite Kinders that are free of answers. The solution, every Kinder that finds itself tied to an answer must destroy it. When this happens, there will only be the Kinders that are free. The memory of answer will fade and fate will be ours again. I mean... That's what the game is going for, isn't it? Going for that sort of thing. I'm just gonna collect some items because the exploration was easily the best part of this game. That boss was certainly whelming. Cool helicopter, I guess? I don't know how I feel about that, because that boss battle was, like... Again, with the respawning, you're just gonna restart and fight the boss again anyway. And then obviously I cheesed the Death Star, but... Man. Oh, I don't know. I have been observing the entity the Sagiga, referred to as the Lamasu, which we suspect is some form of AI that communicates through various terminals around Kinder, similar to Ansible's and to our portal to Antarctica. It appears to possess transworld properties of its own, raising the question of whether its mind is even located here or if it's actually broadcasting from yet another world. Of late, I've been thinking about the apparent connection between the Lamasu's power usage and time flow in the breach. There's evidence that this was able to bring forth weapons and equipment beyond the technological capacity of the people here. How did it do that? Why would it do that? Why did it stop? There goes that map completion. I love this music. And that's the stuff I really liked about this game. Some of the presentation was just really cool. I wouldn't even say I prefer it to the first one. I think that's just kind of an apples and oranges thing. And the fact that it could go in such a different direction and still feel somewhat like Axiom Verge is cool. But I'm gonna say I preferred the first game. Like, I definitely preferred the first game. And I was complaining about games being too long. It's not that this felt too short, it just felt a little anticlimactic, and I think part of that problem for me is the boss thing. Like, in a lot of Metroidvanias, part of the reason you become more powerful over time is so that you can fight enemies, and specifically bosses, more easily. And also, you know, feel more powerful. And in this game, that's not the feeling I got. This game, it was just cool. It was just cool to find stuff, and, you know, a couple things helped you not die. Most of the weapons and items were, for me, just kind of bland. Some cool... this is cool. I really like this. The drone is phenomenal. I like some of the abilities because they're basically Metroid abilities, but done differently. I'm trying to find all the positives here. And there are many. There are definitely positives. But now my complaints are as follows. Just again, anticlimactic. The melee was not great. I thought the philosophical nature of the story, even if I didn't fucking understand it, I thought it was like a big swing. And it was a cool one. It mostly worked. I don't think it was a swing and a miss, necessarily. It's a very fleshed out alien world. And it left me with questions, and it made me somewhat invested. Like, that's gotta be an upgrade. Why are there arrows? That's weird. What the hell is that? The fuck? Watch this be some kind of, like, endgame thing that no one's discovered yet. It's probably not that, but, whatever the fuck that is, that... okay. I don't. That's the thing. I don't think it's as good as the first one, but there is something about this that's very memorable. I don't know if I'd recommend it to everyone, necessarily, but I think some people will love this game. I guess that just depends on you, the gamer. You know, do you, the gamer, want to just be whisked away to a weird world? Without necessarily understanding it? And, with all the Metroidvania elements except combat being strong. I really like the fast travel system too, and I like the dual worlds. I can't really, like, I'm not a reviewer, and I don't like to necessarily give things number scores. I have, a little bit. It's just more as a jape. But this, to me, feels like in the 8 out of 10 range. That's my kind of assessment. If I absolutely had to give it, like, a score. Somewhere hovering in that region. Whereas I think some people would be very eager to give it a 9, some would probably give it, like, a fucking 6. You know, it feels very heavily dependent on the player, but as a connoisseur of Metroidvania games, it scratched several itches, but left me itchy for other things. That's a weird way to say that. It kind of left me... It felt like Poison Oak. A little bit. Oh, look at that. Royal Dagger. Made of arsenical copper and lapis lazuli. A dagger? Oh. I didn't even know there was an optional thing like this. Oh, okay. Interesting. It's just a quick melee attack. Had no idea daggers were even in this game. Does that mean I now have a new skill? No, it's just melee. Just counts as melee. Alright. Okay. Beat game, find new weapon. Hmm. It does make me wonder how much other stuff in this game I've missed. Like, because there's more room in the inventory for, like, 2 more things, like, major items. Okay, we're in the clouds now. Lamasu confirmed Smash final character. Hey, chum. Bet you weren't expecting me. Johnny. Johnny, what are you doing in Smash Brothers? Well, this agreement was made long before Cyberpunk ever even came out. Hey, Johnny, can you deliver one of your famous lines for me? Yeah, chum. I can do that.
I know where the bastard sleeps. I brought him there. To Carfax Abbey.
Famous Johnny Silverhand line. Okay. I mean, I guess I could try to go for the... I'm enjoying just finding stuff. I could make an attempt at the, 80% ending. Even if it's just one scene. I was convinced there was a hidden ending, because that was very quick. I guess it felt kind of final, especially with the body and everything, but, thing is, like I said, I don't remember Axiom Verge 1's story enough to know how this relates. But it feels like things wrapped up kind of quick. If it seems like I'm just looking for things to complain about, these are, you know, these are legitimate things. This feels like a Sonic the Hedgehog zone, and I've probably said that. Fucking music. Oh, that worked for that? Okay. NC's bracelet. Press down and attack with the double axe to perform a downward slam. Press down and attack with the double axe to perform with a downward slam. Do I not have a double axe? Oh, sir, I don't think I do. To me, mechanically, the portal stuff is really great. Like being able to move a portal and using that as like a puzzle-solving technique. I think that's some of the best shit in the game. Double axe? Also, give me just one moment. I'll be right back. Okay. So I saw Baby Driver for the first time. I'm catching up on a lot of shit that I missed. And that happened to be one of them. I liked the movie. Mostly. I don't know. It was like attempting to be ultra cool, and sometimes it didn't really work for me. The music was great. The choice of music. Like, Edgar Wright is a fantastic director. And he's got great taste in music. And also, great editing, as always. Like, editing gunshots to music is great. Jamie Foxx was really good in it. John Hamm. The lead was okay. You know, when he was dancing, I was like, okay, here we go. But it wasn't too bad. Overall, though, pretty good. Good scenes. Just the story and, like, the character itself, like, didn't really... I don't know, it was... I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. I don't know why I didn't like it that much, or as much as some people. Even though I did like it. Not one of my favorite Edgar Wright movies by a long shot, but good. And there's a song from Blur in there that I used in my Mario video. You know, the one where Mario tells Luigi the truth. I couldn't fucking believe that that was in there. Blew my mind. Because I guess I'd never really heard it in anything else. And it was done so perfectly for that movie. It was great. And then right after that was Focus by Hocus Pocus, or Hocus Pocus by Focus. So yeah, there was a lot of cool stuff in the movie. It's just the overall thing didn't get me as much as I think the movie tried to. And I know I'm being very particular and picky, and I know I'm sounding kind of stupid, because I can't really articulate why I don't like the movie as much as I should have. I can't really give you a reason, because I don't know. But enjoyable, and I don't regret watching it by a long shot. It made me want to go back and rewatch Hot Fuzz. So that's got to count for something. And now my movie journey continues. So I have a challenge for you, the viewer. If you're actually one of the few people watching this all the way, even past the ending, my question to you is, knowing my taste in movies, as some of you do, would you mind dropping a comment of maybe a movie recommendation of something you think I would like? A compass that fits within the gemstone. What the fuck is this? What? Maybe it shows you where items are gonna be, like, I don't know. I guess I do have level 2 now. I don't know why I have level 2 where I didn't before. I don't remember getting level 2. I don't remember anything. Dangerous ideas. It seems that regardless of every gift the Vinesauce bestows, the UDUG counter with stronger attacks and improved strategies. We have long wondered at their witchcraft. At last we are starting to understand how we might harness it ourselves. By manipulating the invisible lattice, which is the center of the UDUG's power, requires a mental facility beyond the simple computing machines we have been using. The Vinesauce is not forthcoming with solutions. It seems conflicted, reluctant to help us violate the edicts of gods long dead, yet eager for us to outwit it and perform such violations anyway. Compromise we've arrived at is a terrifying one, but if it does not succeed, it may be the end of us. Like I said, lots of stuff, some of which I understand. There's even a boss here. Am I a little overpowered for that boss? Okay. It is my guess that I am slightly overpowered. Oh, there's the double axe. Two-handed axe that is powerful and but what are you if you can kill enemies like that quickly, what the fuck do you need the double axe for? I mean, it's cool that it exists. Weapon variety is good. Alright. Cool. Listen, the music in this game I already liked, but... And it's not my usual style of music by any means, and I'm not always the most open-minded when it comes to music. I try to be, but it can be tough. And it depends on how close it is to... Like, I like melody more than I like rhythm. So, you know, I have my particulars when it comes to music, but I can appreciate stuff. I didn't think I would grow to love the soundtrack, but I think I do. Kinda love. In between, somewhere in there, I think. And then you hear Lately, 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 and then you're like, yeah, maybe a little bit. This game needs the speed boot. That's the thing that Samus has. Speed boot would be great. Even in Castlevania Troids. Well, Alucard doesn't really get a speed upgrade. But Soma Cruz does, eventually. Imagine me missing that flask. Imagine that. As if such a thing is even possible. Come back to that. I'm just going for as much mappage as I can. Okay. Mortal, I turned myself into a pickle. I just can't believe the updog would rebel against the lame asshole. Still stuck on that. That's how you do it. Allows you to see in the dark without the use of a flashlight. Huh. I like all the little upgrades. Just the random little upgrades I think are great. Go. And there's so many upgrades I missed too. Check out this glacier area. What's up, bird? Hmm. Hmm. It's interesting. Need to move portal closer. Oh, wow, that's right, you have a stamina meter. I didn't even... forgot about that. So now where do I drag this portal to? Just nowhere up here, apparently. Oh, wait. Let's see, these are all... This is the other... I forgot about this entirely. Okay, now how do you get in from there? It's not helping me. Okay, I think maybe the answer is down here. Oh wait, I destroyed answer, never mind. No? Fuck do you do this? Alright, we'll go this way. Very confused right now, but slowly trying to figure it out. You know what's crazy about another thing about the flooding is that yesterday there were rivers. At least here in Staten Island. I don't know what it was like. Well, I do know it was really bad in the other boroughs. But there were just straight up rivers. Like streets became rivers. Today, beautiful out. It's a little windy, but it's fucking gorgeous out. And most of the rivers are now gone. It's utterly bizarre. Can't go that way. How the fuck do you get in there then? Huh. I'm just gonna go this way then. Lots of stuff that I can't quite figure out just yet. Another boss. What? 2 bosses. Wow, it's either impossible, like the fucking Death Star boss, or it's this. Why even bother at that point? Just don't have bosses. No need. I mean, I'm still missing a lot of stuff in this area, but whatever. Just a thing there. You're rewarded very well for exploring. The problem is that most of the stuff you get, you don't need. There we go. Hang on. I'm gonna plug my controller in. Okay. Weirdly, this just makes me want to play a different Metroidvania at the moment. Like, again, I enjoyed the experience, and I said earlier it scratched some itches, but now I'm in the mood for a Metroid. I think I'm going to try to do something Metroid-related before Metroid Dread. Which is probably what I would just be doing on my own, even if I didn't record any video on it or anything. Can't pick that up. I booted up my SNES Mini, which I may have done some work on, and I have Metroid Zero Mission on there. And even just playing Zero Mission for a little bit, I'm like, man, this game was so fucking good. And as much as I love the way Super Metroid controls, I think Zero Mission's better. I just think that the whole fusion into Zero Mission era for Metroid was maybe mechanically my favorite. With the help of Malka, I have been going through the Sagiga's own records, trying to find anything of note about the technology they used. It's difficult work, made harder by the fact that they intentionally destroyed a lot of their own accounts, ostensibly to keep anyone else from reproducing their work. So my understanding is fragmented, but there is one point that seems to keep coming up. They reference the multiple worlds as being a fruit of a tree. I initially took this to be purely figurative, but they often mention parts of the structure, such as the spadix, or answer, as if they're locations one can visit. I haven't seen mention of parts like the roots or leaves in this context, but it makes me wonder how far the metaphor carries. And speaking of Zero Mission, I looked into ROM hacks for Zero Mission specifically. Not a lot. Apparently they're not great either. There's not like as many good ones as Super Metroid. So I'm kind of in the mood for a zero mission playthrough, but I've already played through it so many times. I kind of wouldn't mind something new. But I didn't really see any, like, truly great Metroid Zero Mission ROM hacks. There's got to be something out there. The music in this game can get really hypnotic. Rather, quite hypnotic. Or it can get dancey. Yes, the piss waterfall. I was so close to pressing the button to refill my health. My finger was on it, and it was maybe 4 frames away from pressing it in time. That's my excuse. Are these anemones? Or are these sea pickles? I have a feeling Tom Happ, the creator of this game, just loves making maps. Which, to be fair, that was my favorite part of making RPGs when I did RPG Maker. Most of the other shit, I was like, that'll wait. I'll do that later. And I did like 80 different maps, but never really got too far past that. But it's not like there's any motivation to finish an RPG Maker game, unless you're like Undertale or something like that, that you know is original enough that people might actually be interested. Mine was just... I don't know. It was like a Final Fantasy Chrono Trigger homage. And it wasn't really even that good of one. But I liked it. It was fun to make. Or it was fun to make some of. I used to draw Mega Man maps in my notebook too when I was young. Probably like 4th grade-ish. Mount Eben. Time for an Eben kill streak. Getting that map completion rate. Getting that map complusy. And now I have to go back so I can fly again. Start here. Just another upgrade. I mean, I don't really know if I'm gonna do another video of this game beyond today. So if I can get 80%, great. If not, then, you know, we just don't see the extra scene. Trying to cover as many areas as possible. So I know I have a lot of stuff to do in the spider drone world. I'm also getting somewhat hungry, so I don't know if I'm going to be playing this that much longer. Like I said, it's kind of chill to just, like, explore and find new shit. Even if I've completed the game and was left whelmed at best. Anything up here? Nope. It's worth checking. Here seems like an area. Well, it most certainly is an area. Tonight, I am going to be cooking. There's a, the recipe I have is, it's like chicken and mushrooms and mashed potatoes and carrots. And I'm like, it might be a little too hot for that kind of meal, but seems good. I'm not describing it, but there's like a gravy that you can make with it, like a pan sauce, and it's apparently what Goodbye Garbage does. That's the name of the company that they're sending me meals. What they do is they have like Hall of Fame recipes. So once in a while they'll send you one that I would imagine is just popular. That's it. Just people seem to like it. So this one is that. I'm like, okay, it seems like a relatively simple dish. I'm not really sure why it's like Hall of Fame, but most of the simple shit that you cook is like the best. And then you just fuck it up with butter, and you have a winner. Good. the people from Bus Simulator keep contacting me, desperate for me to play their bus game. The problem is it looks competent. Like, there's no Dudna Aede in there. For those that know what that means. You know, that's the kind of bus simulator I want. So I'm probably going to pass on that one, but there was another simulator game that I got that wasn't Pressure Wash Simulator. So I have to figure out whether or not that's worth a look. Probably will be. Also, I found out that Thief Simulator is one of the best-selling games on the Switch eShop at the moment. That's really cool and all, but the Switch eShop still needs a way for people to be able to, like, review games. Yes, review games. Because something might be best-selling, but it might also be hot garbage. The gem glows the closer you get to an item. And it looks like that stuff is the portal. I guess. The red stuff. Question is, how do I get that? Jesus. Okay. Next question is, how do I get down there? I may have an idea. Just down there, I'll try to go back and see if that does it. Yep. There we go. Like that. I wonder how close I am to 80% completion. I was gonna say I'm probably really close to 80% completion, but then again, there's so much left of this. Oh, actually, not as much as I thought. Let's see what's going on over here. I still think there's probably not as drone, but there's probably more items to get, like weapons and stuff. So much stuff is optional. I like when the music gets crusty. And boy, do it get crust. Okay, that just goes down there. Don't want to go down there. My map complete. It doesn't say your map completion. I think I have to get to a save point. I'll take a look next time. Collected a whole fuckload of items just in the past hour. Like half hour. Do a couple more scans of the area. Probably gonna have to do some world hopping to get that thing just up there. Something up there too, and a whole like green area, that thing that I'm. Oh right, I can't get past there. Well, it doesn't show me at the save point. I also realized too late that a lot of this music in these areas is just like lo-fi remixes of the main themes. Yeah, there's a couple spots over here I want to take a look at. Nope. I'm sorry I've run out of things to say. But I have. I could say that John keeps posting clickbait to the clip channel. Like, Slussy devours Slock, I think it was. And it was just a clip from Slime Rancher. I played more of it. I played more of Slime Rancher. And I do like it. But I'm starting to see where it's like I unlocked the lab, and it is getting, like, to an overwhelming amount of stuff that you can upgrade and do. Now, normally that wouldn't be a huge problem. And it's not precisely, but I'm wondering how much of my interest it will retain when I can just see, like, doing the slime stuff, just getting more exploring, getting more slime stuff, just to make more money so I can make more money. Like, that kind of thing. And I'm wondering how long the slime game is going to keep my attention. I'm still going to keep playing it because I like it a lot. But I'm going to, just try to, I don't know, see if there's an ending of some kind. I don't think I'll be doing... I've seen and heard of people min-maxing the fuck out of that game. Also, it now occurs to me that I'll go this way. It now occurs to me that, me completing the game a half hour into this video, and I'm like, this can't be the ending, right? And then people are gonna see the time code, and they're gonna be like, no, there's another hour and a half left or so, or whatever it is. Like, no, this isn't the end. Oh, it was the end, alright. Sorry, you can't have jellyfish in your game, otherwise Nintendo will sue. Because they own the Metroid thing, and that's, like, too close to jellyfish. In fact, real jellyfish were sued for bearing a close resemblance to the intellectual property of Nintendo. So, you know, sorry everybody out there who likes jellyfish. One moment, please. Sorry about that. Phone call. I realize when I say sorry about that, for you it was 1 second. And thus, apologies are probably not too necessary for that specific kind of thing. But, I still apology for the 1 second. Yes. I don't know if there's a way to defeat this thing. I just don't know. If hacking isn't the way to do it, then I don't really know how to do it. Oh well. I'll check out one more area, then go back to the title screen. See if I'm over the 80% required for the single cutscene. Singular cutscene. That's the wrong way. Just a couple spaces up here that I didn't map out. Something there. Here's this fucking thing again. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Oh well. It's interesting, at least, but yeah, I'm not gonna figure that out right now. Looks like I got most of it. In the main area, at least. Like, there's only a couple little places. See, over here, maybe? Let me just try that, and then... Probably, yeah, one more spot, one more spot. The game makes exploration a lot more, like, friendly with these, fast travels. It's gonna be hard to go back to a Metroidvania game that doesn't have the fast travel this way. Gosh. Okay. One more thing. I think from most of the other shit I'm missing, whatever it may be, even if it's just more flasks, I'm probably gonna have to do a lot of back and forth between Pixel Realm and, main realm. Save. And main menu. Whoa, voice crack. Item 73%. Fuck. Gotta be honest, I just don't have it in me. But I hope you enjoyed watching. I got close. But I'm gonna make dinner, and I don't want to come back to this game because I've already completed it. Axiom Verge to Hidden Ending. Let's see. True Ending. I'm just looking to see if there's anything. Okay, yeah, there's something. There's something I can maybe show you. Let me see if I can figure out how to, like, OBS is not as easy as XSplit when it comes to capturing just one little area of the screen, so I'm gonna pause it and figure that out. Hang on. Alright, so here it is. I don't know if this is gonna have commentary on top of it, but here's what I found.
Do we get a final cutscene? Oh, here we go. What's this?
This is Ultimate Male 420's video.
Oh, the hugs. Mama and Samara.
There you go. Well, big thank you to Ultimate Male 420 for the footage and for the brief commentary. And that's the bonus scene, is just they're reunited. So that's sweet. That's cute. Boy, well, you've heard it all, so I don't really have much more to say, but it was a good game. I think there were several missteps, but what do I know? I don't make games. I enjoyed my experience. I think I would have enjoyed it more if it was closer to the first one, or if it evolved that formula a little bit better. But it was weird. It had good music, good visuals, good theming, good exploration, and therefore I liked it overall. So I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I think it was the perfect length, even if I said the ending came out of nowhere for me, like very quickly. Like 7-8 hours is good for a game like this. I just felt a little unfulfilled by the ending, and especially that boss fight. But otherwise, pretty decent. If you've watched all of this, you probably know whether or not you want to play it yourself, but the first one's better. Go check that one out instead if you didn't already. Okay, well, thank you everybody. Take care, and see you soon with more video games. That means I actually get to start up a new game soon. What will it be? Who knows? See you then.